Yes, guys, I just had to order my tea, but listen to this prophetic message. Remember when I told y'all that there was something going on with spiritual jail, and those that were bugging you, they're going crazy right now. A lot of the spell work's not working. A lot of the things that they've been trying to do is not working, slowing you down. Yeah, you guys may get tired here and there, headaches here and there. You may not have a lot of ambition here and there, but the Lord always pulls you up. The Lord always pulls you up. Always, right? And so what's happening now is a lot of them are also, they have been stripped of their gifts. Because let me tell you something, when you are truly gifted from God, truly gifted, gifts cannot be stolen from you, period. Yeah, they can tap into you and steal your ideas and steal your plans and try to see what's going on in your future, try to steal your destiny and all that, but they can't. But one thing is, gifts cannot be stolen from a child of God, because God has granted that child with the gifts. So they cannot steal your gifts, right? So what's going on now is a lot of them who have tried to manipulate you, gaslight you, lie to you, fight you in the realm, all this stuff. It's like they know what they've been doing behind closed doors. They think that God can't see them. God can see them. There's a higher power at the end of the day. Like, what do they think this is, though, right? So they're like, right now it's like their gifts have been stripped because they illegally, some of them are given the gifts and they take advantage of it. So God strips it from them. God takes it from them, right? Or he will lessen it to where they can't tap in like they used to, or all that, right? And then there's some who tap in illegally. Now they have to take oaths to have access to these gifts, right? They're not born with it. There's the anointed, and then there's the gifted, right? And just because you're gifted doesn't mean you're anointed. Okay, it doesn't mean that you are able, because God can give you gifts, and if you're using it wrongly, you are not anointed, right? And then there's some who have to tap in illegally to get access. That's where they do the spell works and all this stuff to give themselves some type of power for their ego boost and all that, right? But God has stripped the gifts from those who did not appreciate it. They can't see like they used to. They can't hear like they used to. They can't interpret like they used to. All of that. And then those who tapped in illegally, they have to keep taking oaths to continue to have access to this. And that means they have to keep giving themselves to the devil to be able to have access, right? But that's what they choose to do. And even then, it's not working like it used to be. So let me go park, y'all. 1 second. So yeah, so there's a lot of things that they're not able to do anymore like they used to do, right? So here's what they're gonna try to do now, because a lot of it does have to do with Starbucks is packed today. A lot of it does have to do with God's wrath, what I've been telling y'all about God's wrath, right? Okay, there we go. So don't be surprised if people are trying to say how you did something to them for their gifts to not work anymore, or for them to not have access to their gifts anymore, or you stole their gifts from them. And that's like the biggest one. She stole my gifts, or she stole my gifts, and I can't see because of her. No, you can't steal gifts that were organically given to you, period. You can't steal gifts that are organically given to you. So, and then I was also told a lot of them are going to start blaming God's wrath on you. So when God comes through with this crazy wrath, and it's already started, right? Don't be surprised if they try to blame you, because remember what they're going to do. They're going to think back to who, when someone does something to you, you have to think about who could have done this to you. So there's two things. It's like you could think about who could have done this to you. Why would they want to do this to you? What have you done to them for them to want to do this to you, right? But if you haven't done nothing to nobody, then you got nothing to worry about, right? But then there's those who are guilty, who have done things to people, and then they try to think back to who could have done it, and they think back to the person that they messed with first. But what they don't realize is it's God. God protects his anointed. God protects his children. So when something is happening to them, they want to sit there and blame you for what's happening to them, and it's not your fault. That's God's wrath. Did they think there was going to be no consequences? Did they think that? So yeah, not only are their gifts going to be stripped, but they're going to also try to blame you for the wrath of God. So when things are starting to fall apart in their lives, don't be surprised if they try to blame you. But some of them are going to be smart and realize that it is based on their actions, and they're going to repent. They're going to repent. They're going to apologize to God, and they're going to try to make things right. And those are the ones who God's going to have mercy for, and who God's going to uplift. Then there's some that's going to be still prideful in their ways, not wanting to admit to nothing, and then wanting someone to blame. And this has been a consistent pattern in their life, not just blaming you or blaming whoever, but they've had this consistent pattern of blaming people and not taking responsibility for their own actions, y'all. Okay? I love you guys so much. My daughter said today, this morning, Mom, God said May 21st is Judgment Day. That's what she said. My daughter is 9 years old.